What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of What the Game Means to Me. I'm, of course, one half of the podcast, Jelani Brown. And, of course, got my co-host again with me today. He's back in town, back at home, it seems like. Shout out to our guy Flag. He got his jersey retired tonight. But that, like I said, back home, back in Duluth. How you feeling, man?
I'm good. I came home for the weekend to, take care of some things and see the fam and see Flag for his little jersey retirement. But, it's good. Into another long week, a lot of football tomorrow and, of course, football on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Same here. Of course, like I said, we typically we like to hit on everything, but go hit on college football first. Not the I guess the big name conferences don't have, or the super big name conferences don't have, highlighted games tomorrow, but we do have a pretty good matchup that could have some playoff implications towards the end of the season. And one team that I am or have been tired of hearing the name and seeing the name the past few years in the college football playoffs, but the Notre Dame Fighting Irish will be facing the Wisconsin Badgers, of course. So we will be, like I said, previewing the game a little bit. Just talking about what we think is going to happen. To me, it's too bad. Well, it's a bad offense versus a bad defense, and a good offense versus a pretty good defense. So somebody's offense, somebody's defense is going to have to give. But Dad, what do you think about this matchup? And I guess who do you feel like is going to come out on top?
First off, it's personal, in my opinion. As a quarterback, it's a competition. You have to earn the spot. There's only one quarterback that plays, and Jack Cohen is at another school because they felt that Grant Mertz was a better option. So it's personal in a way. Going back to Madison as well. Jack Cohen's had a good season, 8 touchdowns and 2 picks over 3 games, showing his ability to be a passer, pushing the ball downfield at times, which he didn't do that much at Wisconsin. I think he's played a pretty good season. Nice, solid guy that doesn't turn over the ball, knows what to do, and is very smart. But I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. Just like Wisconsin and Penn State week 1, I could see 17-13, something like that. But it's going to come down to Michael Mayer, the tight end from Notre Dame, who I think in a year will be a high drive prospect. He's their leading receiver as a tight end, which is not very common. If Jack Cohen can hit him in the passing game and they can establish the run game, I think they'll be okay. I'm scared if they get behind and let the crowd get into it because, those crowds are raucous. They showed a week 1 when they played. I forgot what song they played, but they were going pretty crazy. So those hostile environments, you got to control the crowd, control the pace of the game, and stay ahead. So if they can do that, I think Notre Dame is the better team and they'll come out on top. But Wisconsin being at home, Grant Mertz, he struggled a little bit this season, not playing how he did the previous years. But I think, him being at home, the crowd behind him, if they can get out early and get a lead, I can see them pulling the upset, which is not really upset because they're 2 ranked teams. But I like Notre Dame. I think they're the better coach team, the better run team. Their offensive line is not as strong as previous years because, they just usually have about 2 or 3 dogs, like certified first-round draft picks. But
that's what I was about to say.
They're not the same, but they're still quality. And I think Notre Dame, after some tough games, like they had a close game versus Toledo week 2, I think they'll bounce back and get a nice road win. So I'm going to go – I said low scoring. It's going to be low scoring, but I think – I'm going to go 24-14 with Notre Dame getting maybe a pick 6 late or, a late game-clinching touchdown to put the game away. So I got Notre Dame 24-14.
I don't know, but what do you think about all these close games Notre Dame been in, though? Like, I don't know. Like, that's what's putting me off.
Yeah, it's real quick. It's something about those teams that keep finding a way to win. Like, when you're in these tough games, you can either fold or get the job done. And if you continuously keep getting the job done in crunch time when people's palms get sweaty and they don't even want the ball to come their way, it says something different. Maybe they believe in that coach, the swagger he has, his calm and cool, how he is in those situations. You never know. But I think Notre Dame, they're built for it. Even though that Florida State game scared me, but I think, it was first game jitters, a little all over the place. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know, but even who they just play and almost lose to?
I didn't watch the last week game. I watched
last week they played. Hold on, I'm about to bring it up. I forgot who they played, but they played somebody, and it was another close game. A team I didn't think they should have been on the field with them. Oh, Toledo. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, they played Purdue last week. I told you earlier before we got on the show. I'm like a week behind. I don't know what I was doing
Yeah,
last week.
that's a Toledo
Yeah,
game.
the
They were
Toledo
supposed to
game.
lose.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. They definitely were supposed to lose that game. Like I said, Purdue. I guess they were able to pull out by me as Purdue. It's like, yeah, but like I said, even into halftime, it was like I still think 10-3, something real low scoring. But I don't know. To me, like I said, Notre Dame just gonna be Notre Dame. I feel like they continuously do it year in year out. Like they're always in close games, getting close games, and then somehow towards the end end up finding a way to pull it out, and then maybe even add on an extra touchdown or two to make it look like the game wasn't close at all. But I don't know. Like I said, I personally, like I said, I be knowing sides of the ball. In this one, I don't know. I guess, like I said, Notre Dame has been able to prevail. They haven't played, I don't think, a powerhouse defense. Yeah, as a top team for one, and then a powerhouse defense at that. I mean, I don't want to call Wisconsin's defense a powerhouse one, but I think they're like 11th right now, somewhere in the
They're a
teens,
quality defensive team.
Yeah. Only thing that worries me, obviously, is that they're not going to be able to score because they can't throw the ball. They can run, though. And I think Notre Dame's run defense isn't really that great. But I don't know. Eventually, one of them is going to have to give. And I feel like for some reason in this one, I think Notre Dame's luck is going to run up. I don't know. It's tough to say just because, like, obviously the game nowadays is a passing game. And if you can't really throw the ball and you have to rely on your rush defense, then you become predictable. And, no matter how bad your rush defense is, you can stop what you know is coming. So I don't know. It's definitely a toss up for me. I think I just want Notre Dame to lose. Obviously, like you said, it's definitely personal for the quarterback battle. One guy's at the other school because of the other. He won out, but I don't know. I feel like for some reason the Badgers are gonna pull this one out. It's gonna be close though, but like you said, low scoring. I'm gonna go 24-21. Wisconsin's way, but like I said, it could be a toss up. I'm just hoping, I guess, Notre Dame's luck runs out more so than it possibly happening. But like I said, it's just me with wishful hoping. Like it obviously possibly would help, which we didn't get to talk about my Gators. Maybe, who knows, at some point later on down the road. We gotta talk about that. That was a nice little game. It was really dumb though. Like
moral victories. That sounds like somebody that's not used
more
to being
victory for me.
I was gonna give y'all credit, but once you start talking about we played a good game, I want to hear that y'all lost at the end of the day.
Ooh, did I say that?
I think I'm the person that's supposed to be nice to y'all. As a fan, you're supposed to be hard on your team. Like y'all didn't get the job done. That first quarter was a difference. But yeah, let's that's
why I said that's why I was exactly. That's why I'm wondering, like, did I say they had a good game? Because I don't. If I did, then I need to slap myself because I don't. Because that first quarter, like you said, it was the whole difference. Like we got a field goal kicker missing, extra points. We got they were doing Emory Jones threw an interception. They was dumb play calling. I don't know what was going on in the first quarter, but they somehow, I'm proud of Emory Jones for playing the way he did and showing, I guess, he can go head to head with top talent. But all in all, like, yeah, that first quarter was really what did it in for us. And at the end of the game, we gotta go for a 2, and then the 2-point conversion play call so stupid. Like either let go of the ball or just like run it in behind him. Like at that point, they like both tiptoeing. I'd have just, if I was gonna keep it and then run behind his back. And if you'd have pushed him, you got a little bit of a push, he might have been able to get in. But that's last week. We're gonna talk about this week. Let's get back on topic.
But yeah, real quick before we go on, I know you're going to Arkansas, but I said that Notre Dame's going to win on the road. But like you said, they've been playing close games. If they come out slow and flat, and Wisconsin gets up 2 touchdowns and that crowd gets to rock, and they could get blown out. So I think Notre Dame's going to come in there, control the environment. But if they don't, it could get ugly.
Yeah, I'll take a blowout. And you've been calling these like you'll go one way, but then you're like, all right,
I have a feeling, but I'm trusting my gut this week though. You'll see coming soon. I'm trusting my gut. I'm not doing it.
All right, I'm guessing it's gonna come with the pick'ems. Yeah, it was like you second guessing yourself. You be right the whole time.
College is a whole different breed. You don't know what's gonna happen.
That is true. Yeah, it's literally a toss up each and every week. Like this stuff is nowhere close to NFL.
Yeah,
but
wild. Like
you said, moving on, we're gonna talk about SEC battle. Arkansas, which has been, they've been a pretty good team. I don't remember the last time have been this good, have been really ranked either. But
Darren McFadden and Felix Jones was the last time.
That's what I was about to say. Like that might be the last time I can remember. But in Arkansas versus Texas A&M, two ranked opponents, like I said, SEC matchup. Like I said, obviously, just I guess not really playoff because like really we already expecting Alabama to come out of that, so it's really no toss up or anything. But a good game that we're expecting. So what do you see out of this matchup?
I've watched the teams, but not as much as I should have. Like I watched here and there of a couple of games, but Arkansas looks good, man. I watched that game versus Texas, and I expected, all the hype to get shut down. And I think they ran Texas off the field. They completely dominated that game and showed that they're headed in the right direction. They extended Sam Pittman for a reason. He was a offensive line coach at Georgia for a couple of years, so he knows what he's doing. He knows how to scheme the run game, and he has the program in the right direction. Arkansas, like you said, hasn't been good since the Ryan Mallett and Darren McFadden days. And now they're ranked number 16 with a 3:30 kickoff on Saturday. So that place is going to be packed, and they haven't had a game like this in years. So I think they're going to be ready to play. But Texas A&M, my guy Calzada, if you didn't know, Pickett coached him. So his senior year, we was out there training before his senior year. So I'm pulling for him. He got his opportunity to start. And he had a rough first start, but I think he bounced back last week and continued to bounce back. Jimbo will call a good game, get Spiller going, and let the athletes do the work. And I just think Arkansas, they're trending upwards, but they're not ready yet to win this type of game. I know they beat Texas, but I think Texas A&M is a different breed. And Jimbo Fisher runs a quality program, as you see what happened to Florida State once he left. But I just think that Arkansas is too good. I know this is their QB2, but I think Zach Calzada can get the job done. I believe in him. And I think that they're going to come in, and this is going to be a close game. This is going to be a very close game, but Texas A&M is going to win, and I don't have any doubts about that. Yeah. I see this being a higher scoring game, though. That's all I'm saying. I'm going for I say 31-28 or 35-38 A&M. They've been there before, these big games. Arkansas hasn't been in these really big games. So I think that'll be the difference.
Yeah. I can definitely see it. Like I said, I was going high scoring game as well. Like I said, Jimbo, typically in games that he's involved in, especially the games he's involved in, and his offense is just, a little bit more, lethal, I guess, than what he was having at Florida State before he left. But like you said, these two teams, I haven't watched too much of them, especially Arkansas. Texas A&M, I've watched a little bit, but like I said, from what the highlights I've seen and things that I've read, like I said, that they've improved, they've progressed, and they've been good this year. But like you said, I don't think they're ready for one of these big time wins against a coach that I'm sure will have his guys ready. Like I said, it's an SEC matchup, one that has huge implications for them as they're the 7th ranked team, I believe.
Yep, 7-16.
Yeah, so I don't think they're just ready yet, like you said. I think it'll be high scoring though. I think they may stretch it out a little bit. I'm thinking really like a 10-point win. If I remember checking the line, I think they're a 7 or 8-point favorite. A&M is. If I'm right, that might have been Notre Dame, but I think it's going to be like 41-31. That's kind of my guess score. But like I said, I guess kudos really to Arkansas. Like I said, the program looks like they're back on track. Another team that's going to be competitive in the SEC, hopefully, in years to come. I don't know if this is a byproduct of, a lot of people have been saying, of course, with the extra, with COVID, people getting the extra year, or even, being able to get certain transfers into their program. It's been helpful to have 4-year, 5-year seniors, or whatever the case may be. So hopefully it's not a byproduct of that. Maybe, like I said, recruiting wise, they've gotten better, gotten better coaches in there, and hopefully another team to reckon with in the SEC that it's looking like it's going to be a super conference sooner rather than later. But I'm gonna go with Texas A&M on this one, 41-31. But
and one thing I want to add before we move on, I know A&M hasn't played anybody. I think their biggest game was Colorado. Their toughest opponent was probably Colorado, which they barely won. But this season through 3 games, their opponents are averaging 5.8 points per game and only 239 total yards. So I know they're not playing too many people, but their defense is playing lights out. So Arkansas needs to come ready to play. But I think this will be a good game. I think they'll be ready to go, at least for the first half. The hype and adrenaline might die down by after kickoff. and to start the second half. But we'll see.
Right, and then moving on to last little topic of college football, we'll talk about a little bit of the quarterback situation going on in Ohio State. They said CJ will be sitting. He's had shoulder issues, I'm pretty sure, since the beginning of the season. So the job now is for either Kyle McCord or Miller to win. So one, I don't know if it's come out or not. I've been reading and watching Mo and Jeff talk about it. Do you know who has the leg up on starting? I want to say it's McCord, right? Or they
That's what
say
I
it's going to
think.
be a game time decision.
I think he put both of them down like to play, but he's gonna. I think the team knows and they have an idea. Going through practice, who's going in first, getting the more first team reps. But it's gonna be like a game time decision. But I think the team and the coaching staff knows.
Okay, that's why I figured too, obviously. But
I
guess the question for I'm going with McCord too. But the question I guess I have is, I mean, they're playing Akron. They're expected to win, pretty big, even though they haven't won big all year. I'll take the words out of Mo's mouth. He said there's some teams this year that were expected to be great, but are just decent, like they're just good. And I think Ohio State is one of those teams. But if McCord, I guess, plays, up to potential, or even shows, just any type of flashes, even though it's against Akron, do you think he keeps the starting job, or CJ comes back into play whenever his shoulder gets right?
I'm going to talk about this, and then I'm going to go off a little bit. Not go off, like just venture off to talk about the CJ Stroud part. But if McCord, if they're winning and he's lighting it up, 400 yards, 75% completion percentage, 4 or 5 touchdowns per game, and they're blowing out folks like Ohio State usually does in the past years, I don't think he gets the job done. I mean, job back. But if he's, just managing the game, having rough games, struggling like Stroud did versus Tulsa, I think that CJ has an opportunity to get the job back. I don't really know how the battle in camp went. I heard that they thought highly of all the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, they went with Stroud. There was an open quarterback competition. McCord had time to win the job. And I know all these guys, this is where I'm going to talk about Stroud a little bit. All these guys are complaining about Stroud and stuff, but he won the job for a reason. So obviously the coach, which knows more than most of the people complaining, he's watching them every day in practice, watching the countless reps, the 1,000 reps that he's ran from spring to now. Like he knows what he's watching. He picked the best guy. So we'll see. All these guys talking about Stroud this, Stroud that. I know they're disappointed because they're used to spectacular quarterback play. Yeah. But Stroud, he only has 2 picks. I mean, he only has 1 pick, 8 TDs through 3 games. He struggled a little bit. Wisconsin, Minnesota, he started off slow. Oregon, he struggled even though he put up numbers. In Tulsa, he definitely struggled. But I think we need to pump the brakes a little bit. I know Justin Fields and Dwayne Haskins in their first years starting quarterbacks, they both had 50 total touchdowns, which are crazy seasons. So they set the bar high and expectations are crazy. So they're just expecting like dominance, perfection instantly. And it doesn't always work like that. CJ Stroud is a good player. He's a young player. And he might just need some time to develop. I feel like people need to relax, and all this trying to pull a quarterback after 2 games, that is really BS in my opinion. Like even the fans, whoever thinks that Stroud should have this short of a leash, you got to calm down. I know you're Ohio State, you're always going 11-1 in the college football playoff, but you need to relax a little bit and let the kid cook up. Maybe he's not ready right now, but I don't think you guys asking for other quarterbacks to jump in is the best alternative. I know your receiving core is crazy. They should be lighting it up, but he won the job for a reason. So, we'll see. These guys are going to get their opportunity, and I can't wait to see what happens if McCord struggles and the other guy struggles. Like, what are they going to run to now? Like, are you going to run back to Stroud after you trashed them? Like, are you your mind?
I know he's probably not even close to being ready. He probably don't even suit up. He probably just out there watching.
Yeah. But before I let you go, I just I don't really like all the not even the disrespect. I think people are being a little harsh, and they should just take it slow. Like some of these people, the way they act, like if they were a quarterback coach, I don't think they keep their job that long. You can't replace quarterbacks every week. Like after 2 drives, like what are you doing? You gotta just relax and watch the film, make corrections. If he keeps making the same mistakes and play doesn't get better, then you make a decision. But you got to be patient. And a lot of quarterback Coaches know that. Ryan Day knows that. That's why he's not listening to anybody outside of the Ohio State football program and only the people inside in the film he's looking at. So, I'm not defending CJ Stroud, but I think people need to relax a little bit.
Yeah. Because like I say, I think it's like over, like I guess taking a little bit overboard because like I guess he does deserve a little bit of criticism for the way he's played. Maybe some decision making. Like I remember the Oregon game. It was a few balls that he kind of let sail, and I remember one of them was an interception. It was key late in the game. So it's like certain stuff like that. Yeah, he may deserve some criticism. He may deserve some, this is what he has to improve on. But like you said, like taking it overboard to where it's like, oh yeah, we gotta pull him, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. Like, yeah, like he said, he won the job for a reason. He is out there hurt. Maybe that is something, I don't know if that Ohio State fans is like, obviously they're keeping that in mind, but I don't know if that's something like, all right, like maybe we should pull him, maybe we should see if somebody else, can come in and get the job done. Quarterback his team, lead this team that's healthier. Obviously, like I said, Jack Miller or Kyle McCord, but all in all, like I said, I'm kind of with you as well. Just having to kind of cool down, because he's a true freshman. He is
redshirt.
Redshirt freshman, not a true freshman. My fault. Yeah, but still, obviously, first action. First real action, in game, whatever the case may be. But like you said, I'm really interested to see what the backups could do as well, because I remember even before the start of the season, just watching Mo and Jeff too, talk about just all three of the guys and who they felt like could be the best quarterback to lead this crew in this year. And I felt like a lot of people were saying it was going to be CJ Stroud. I believe Mo and Jeff as well. Said that's probably who they would go with, but it's interesting to just see, like I say, it's three guys that they felt like were capable of having the starting quarterback, position. Obviously, CJ Stroud, one out, has been hurt pretty much the entire time. But like I said, if these guys show, like you said, they can do the same thing, even not better, lead this team, I guess to more success, or I guess more success that they're used to. And like I said, it'll be interesting to kind of see like how it all plays out. Like I said, when he comes back, if he's healthy or not. But like I said, I personally, I guess. Hopefully, I guess CJ Stroud gets healthy first off, and like I said, wish him the best, because like I say, not only like just off the field too. Like I don't know how spicy they've been talking. Like really, the only Ohio State fans I see and watch are Mo and Jeff. So like if there's any other ones that's out in the Twitter sphere, they probably do be going in. Like they're probably just like any other fans that that have their bad apples, and say certain crazy stuff. Especially the young kids, but so I'm sure he'll bounce back. And hopefully, they say when his arm is healthier, he'll be healthier for the team as well. But just interested to see, I guess, how they pan out this week against Akron. Because, like I said, if it's a close game, another one when they struggle, it just shows it might not even be him. Like, could be system in place, could be the players, could be the coach, could be any other number of factors versus just kind of throwing all the blame on him. So,
one more thing I do want to add, I did say that Stroud won the job, but there are some people, there are instances, I believe this with myself. I know a lot of players that I play with, they're the same way too. Some people are just better in the game. Like they don't have not the best practice habits, but maybe the other two quarterbacks weren't the best in practice. But, when the lights come on and when it's game time, some people perform better. So you never know. McCord might get out there and ball, or the lights might be too big. But, we'll know a lot more. I'll have a lot more to say next week after the performance, or the following week after Ryan Day makes a certain decision. But, we'll see.
To assess. Yeah, maybe you need to hop on. They do Buckeye remix with Jeff and them.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Nah, we can definitely do that.
Definitely we'll hit them up. I'm sure.
I know
they won't mind.
I know they'll have something to say.
Yeah. But like I say, it's gonna be interesting just to see how they play out. The whole thing plays out this upcoming weekend. But moving on, we're gonna bring back an old segment that we used to do. Wanted to bring it back today just because there's been a lot of news within the last few days in the sports world. I think this was from last week, but of course I wanted to play a little something or nothing. Like I said, we like to mix it all in. I know basketball season is right around the corner, but Ben said he's not reporting to camp. Still holding strong, wants to be traded. We don't know who's going to trade for him, but that's another story for another day. The money that he's going to be losing out on is ridiculous. Don't know if you got to see the numbers, but it's definitely a few millions.
Not a few.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not just a few. Maybe it's a few in his stance because he
Yeah.
don't want to report. But something or nothing, been not reporting to camp and losing out on all this millions. What are you thinking? What would you do?
It's something. I mean, I kind of felt that this was coming after that
Mm-hmm.
playoff game where he got his coach kind of like, can we win a championship with Ben Simmons? The way he answered it, he wasn't very confident. And B commented on the play where he passed up the open dunk to pass it to Thibault. And then the fans bashing him. I know he's 24 years old. He checks, so he's on social media heavy. I'm pretty sure he looks at this stuff. Everybody's human at the end of the day. And sometimes it affects people, sometimes it doesn't. But after that, he saw how the fans bashed him. They turned their back on him pretty much. He was done with him. And I understand it in a way. It's a business,
Mm-hmm.
It's his fault because he didn't get better as a player in certain areas. So it's on him, but it's something, your second best player is not showing up for workouts. You have a lot of money invested in him. It's hard to trade him coming off that playoffs. And you think he's worth a lot, but after that playoff performance, his stock dropped. So it's just a tough situation. And he said he's not coming. He's willing to lose all the money. So either I don't think Ben Simmons is going to fold. And I think it's something because either the Sixers are going to have to trade him or they're going to get some of their money back, but they're not going to be anywhere near the contenders that they were in years past with Tobias and Joel Embiid. So I think it's something completely.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, it's something just because of the mere fact, like you said, he's your second best player, or prominent as your second best player. All the money that you invested in him, you said I don't know, just the whole scenario, like of these different trade offers that we've seen, heard, all the rumors and stuff, like what they've been asking for him. It's like we understand like everything's. I guess people still want us to think obviously about oh, he's a two-time All-Star, two-time All-Defense, I believe. Was in the running for the NBA Defensive Player of the Year last year. Like still young,
but he was unplayable in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But point for it, but it's like they want us to think about that type of Ben, and people want to trade for that Ben. But like no, like we understand like he's had these accolades, but like you said, when the light shined brightest in the playoffs, he didn't show up in ways that a lot of people thought he would. Like, yes, he's a great defensive player and all that, but like you can't be afraid to take a layup. I know some people feel like that was kind of blown out of proportion. Like, he's gonna make the pass and make the right play, whatever the case may be. But other people are looking at like, bro, you're right there. Like, dunk it, like lay it up, do something. Like you got the ball in your hands. Like you can't be afraid to score or shoot the ball. Like that's the one thing you can't be afraid to try to score and shoot. Like it's okay if you can't. Like yes, you do need to work on your game and get better. And like have a drive to, because like you say, it doesn't seem like he did really anything or even does anything. Like even this offseason, we see little jumpers and stuff, but we see that every offseason from every player. Yeah, same thing. Like it ain't gonna matter if you ain't gonna want to do it in the game. So definitely something, like I said, it's something for both sides. Like it's something for him. Obviously, he's losing out on millions. He may even end up in a destination he doesn't really want to be at. Like depending, like Philly doesn't have to look out for his best interest. Like I said, they're gonna look out for their best interest and take whatever trade is best for them, but also on their side of things, like what trade is best for them, because ain't nobody biting on what y'all throwing out. So it's like it's really sour and sucks for both sides, honestly. So it definitely has to be something. I don't know how this is going to end, but I'm really curious, and I can't wait to see when it does somehow come to its conclusion, because training camp's right around the corner. And really ain't no word on if he's going to get traded. He said he's going to sit out. Like, this could very well go deep into the season, or at least, like, December maybe. Who knows?
The best, real quick, I don't know. I like basketball, but I'm not into it how y'all are. I think the best thing for the Sixers is for them to make bite their tongue and get the best deal they can. Because if you wait until the trade deadline, I don't know. Like, what if they fall out? I don't know how bad they could potentially be. They're not a terrible team. They got players, they got shooters and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. This could get ugly. And I know Ben's not folding. I can tell like he hasn't been messing with them since.
He do seem like the type to be stuck up and
he's not
hard-headed. Yeah.
Once he said he'll play for any team other than the Sixers, you'll play for the Timberwolves, my guy. You'll play for the Magic. He's done, bro. He's fed up. He's done.
Y'all take him down there in Orlando?
I'm straight. You got to learn how to shoot a little bit.
Y'all already got, yeah, I was about to say, y'all already got
We
like
already got
50
we
point
got some
guards
point
anyway.
guards. Yeah, we got some young bucks. Developing RJ Hampton, Cole Anthony, Suggs. We straight at the guard position.
Yeah, I guess y'all don't really need him for sure. But yeah, you're right. Like I said, if he said he play for anybody, yeah, he's not folding. Like I said, he don't care about the money. He probably got a little bit of endorsement money here and there. He probably don't even really
You
care
know,
if they
Rich Paul
lose.
set something up for him.
Yeah, for sure. He just seems he definitely seems like it's like if he had the same stuck up and stubbornness to work on his game, it might not even be this. Like
Yeah.
it may just be home. Philadelphia's home, and we won't even be talking about this. But you know, was he 25? Guys still remember like he's
24,
still young. You know,
25,
he's
one of the
still
two.
yeah, still around our age. I mean, we
Yeah.
probably be the same. Well, not the same way in his situation. I'm not, but like in other stuff, probably just be just something similar, like just hard headed. But next topic, something or nothing, or next player, something or nothing. Christian McCaffrey gets hurt again Thursday night football. Really, Panthers got gutted in general. I think DJ Moore went down, Horn went down as well. But CMC with another injury, hamstring, and they say he's going to be out for a few weeks. Is this something or nothing? This is third, fourth season in a row he's had an injury. I want to say third, but it's not super major. But obviously, it's an injury, and it can progress to more. And we've seen him have these type of injuries, so something or nothing.
It's something for a lot of reasons. For McCaffrey, it's something, and for the team. He has 59 touches through 2 games, which is a little bit, I think, too much. Coming off the injury, they drafted Chuba Hubbard for a reason. I think they should have limited him a little bit. I know he missed the whole season pretty much. He only played in like 3 or 4 games last year, and he got to rest. But got to limit those touches. The running back years are crucial. And I think those touches, I know it happened on an injury heat without him getting hit, but just those touches over time accumulate. So it's kind of scary. And he's a big part of their offense. So him being out will hurt them a little bit. Not too much because I think they have some nice weapons. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Trimble showed some signs, and Sam Darnold played well. And Hubbard's a good, before the COVID year, he was projected as a first or second round pick before that year. So
yeah.
It's something for them, and it's something for McCaffrey because it's a hamstring, and you play running back, and you know how those soft tissue injuries go. I know he's going to work hard and attack the rehab, but he could work hard, sit out for 3 weeks, come right back, and pull it on the next play, his first play back. So stuff like that is tricky. Hamstring is hanging by the thread, so it's rough. It could hamper him all season potentially, but I think that the Panthers are going to be extra cautious, and it doesn't seem as bad as I thought because they only said a couple weeks. I was thinking like at least 4 to 5.
Like put on IR type stuff.
Yeah, IR, but they said I think a grade 2 strain. So hopefully everything goes well. He attacks the rehab and can come back, but these type of injuries, I'm worried about CMC's long term, his season. Hopefully it doesn't hamper him all season. And I picked him as offensive player of the year, so that's not looking too good.
Yeah.
But hopefully, shake back quick, but it's definitely something in both ways. For the team, it's going to affect them. Sam Darnold loves to go to him in the pass game, and this injury could just hamper him all season pretty much. So it's definitely something.
Yeah, like you say, he might have to limp his way through the season, which you
That's
don't want.
tough.
I mean,
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, that's tough on him. Like you said, and the team. Like that could be, like you feel like it's beneficial, but at times we've seen like when you put hurt players out there, especially like hurt star players out there, like you either injure it more, or it's just like you're forcing it to him, or you feel like you can't go to him because you don't want to, re-injure it even more, whatever the case may be. But like you said, it definitely, well, I guess the time will tell. Like you said, it's not as bad as I guess we initially thought. So it could be nothing if he returns back to form. Only reason it's something is because he just has the injury, but he's always just injured. Like I said, he's on the field, he's spectacular. But like I said, that it's also they force feed him a lot. Like he's literally their offense. Obviously DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, they're all coming along. They had Curtis Samuel last year when he was down or whatever the case it may be, and Mike Davis stepped up too. But for the most part, most years it was him and Cam. Pretty much that's the offense. Like they really have no talent in receiver game. DJ Moore, like I said, he's been good. Like I said, he has 4? I want to say 3 or 4,000-yard seasons in a row.
No, he has his last 2. He had 1,000, and it's trending that way this year. But it's tough with him and Robbie Anderson. But he did it last year, so
yeah. So like I say, they have pieces around him, but like I said,
Hey,
he just still seems to be their whole offense.
Their defense too, though. Don't sleep on the defense.
Oh yeah. No, their defense has been a lot a lot better than I thought it would. But I mean, that's I guess the byproduct of spending on your picks on defensive players last year.
Seven picks on defense
Yeah, and then
last
having them
year.
learn the system, have a year to learn the system, and then you bring in a dog at corner and Horn like that. Like, yeah, that's a perfect recipe. Like that makes sense, and good and smart moves by that whole organization and Matt Rule himself. But yeah, definitely something for CMC. I'm hoping, like I said, it's just a little bump in the road. Well, no, actually, I don't hope it's a bump in the road. Like, yeah, stay out as long as you want, CMC. We're good. I think we play out in a few weeks too. No, we play out after the bye week, so hopefully he's gone to week 7. I think week 7, week 8, something like that.
I don't think that'll matter, my boy, if they can't protect Matt Ryan, because Derrick Brown and Burns be getting
they coming.
Yeah, they need to there, bro.
I think by then, I think we'll have our offensive. I think the offensive line will have grown a little bit. Plus, I think Josh Andrews is supposed to come. I don't know if he come back this week or next week, but we're going Jalen Mayfield. I don't think he's going to be starting at least. I won't say he's not going to be in the rotation, but I don't think he'll be starting within the next few weeks. Hopefully not. And I think we brought in like a guard or two on practice squad, but obviously like it's practice squad. I don't know if that they're gonna. If they, so it's just that's just not gonna work. Like what they need to do is bring in some guys. There's still some guys that's like free agents that they definitely could bring in. I just don't know what they're doing. Like if they being stingy with the money. Like we still have a little money to spend. Like or you can say it's free agents. You can bring them in this season. Like they're not gonna be demanding a bunch. Like I don't know what we're doing. Like I really don't. But that's another topic for another day. One injury to another. This one's coming off of an injury. Odell Beckham, said to be suiting up this week for the Browns against Chicago. Something or nothing for. I mean, I guess it's something for him because obviously we've been waiting his return. I guess I don't know if it's something for fantasy owners, but something or nothing. I guess for his importance to the Browns team in the offense.
Me being an Odell guy and a fan, it's something, but I think it's nothing in a way. Like when he got hurt last year, you saw Baker he thrived in a way. He played a little better than usual, you know. I think it is a little true. Odell's presence, knowing the receiver he was before he got to the Browns, he's kind of in his mind. He wants to get him the ball, knows what he can do. So he sometimes locks on him a little bit too much. But I just think the Browns, in a way, they're fine without him. It's weird. Like you wouldn't think that Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashad Higgins, and Landry would be able to get it done as a receiver core, but you know they do when he's not out there. And then they're deep at the tight end position. Their O-line's good. They have backs. They have so many weapons, bro. Like I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Browns in a way don't need Odell, but he would add another dimension to the team if he can go back to his old self in a way and stay healthy. They might be unstoppable, but I think they'll be okay with or without him in a way. I hate to say it. And he's my guy. Like before he was getting injured, if he had a better quarterback in his first couple of years with Eli, and he was still putting up numbers, he just would have still been going crazy. But it's sad to say because of the injuries and stuff. And last year, what Baker did when he went out, I think it's nothing. He'll add another element, especially with Jarvis being out. He'll be the true number one, and maybe it was Jarvis being there. Maybe Odell comes out and breaks out with like 12 for 150. But with the way their offense runs, it's a lot of people to spread the ball around. So I don't see that. But I say nothing. But I'm not saying that Odell's not like a threat. Yeah. He's not a game changer. He is, but the Browns just are so good, and they have so many different weapons. And Kevin Stefanski's a pretty good play caller that he can scheme, to find other people the ball, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing if you don't need Odell.
Exactly. James, hold on a second. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show, but I'll answer it right after I hit on Odell as well. And of course, I'll let you answer it too, Thad. Like I'm going to say Damian Harris, but I'll go on and say why in a second. But yeah, I think you already hit on the points why I was going to say it's probably nothing. Like the only reason I guess it's a little bit something now because like you said, Jarvis Landry went down, but I was going to say it's a little bit nothing because it seems like Baker, I don't know if it was just a thing last year or the past few years. Like it just been in his mind, like, oh, I got to get both of them the ball, or I got to get him the ball, or he's not gonna be happy, or like just the narratives that was surrounding like him and the media and everything, that they were talking about. It could have been none of that, but it just seemed like he wasn't comfortable when he was in the lineup. And like I said, when he went out, he started to thrive. And obviously, they're more of a running team anyway. Like you can give the ball to Chubb and hunt all day, every day. But like I said, in the passing game, it could be a little bit of something just because, Jarvis Landry went down. They still have some other capable playmaking weapons that they can get the ball to. But like I said, if he comes in, he's healthy, he's a shell of himself, it could be something because like I said, it could be a big day for him. They're going against Chicago's defense, which I mean, at this point, I think is more so names than, a hard-nosed hitting defense and, just the greatest thing since sliced bread, that they were like maybe like 2 years ago, I'd say. But he could come back, like you say. It could be a nice little a day for him. I don't know who has him in our fantasy league. I think Urson might have him because I think I tried to trade for him and take him off him. Urson be throwing some terrible trades. I hate Urson.
You got to watch a little more football.
Urson be trying to fleece me in the trades, man. I don't know what the one is up there right now, but it's crazy. He tried to make it look not that bad because he put Randall Cobb in there, but he tried to take Lockett off of me, and he gave me like 3 receivers and Josh Jacobs. I don't know why he don't like Josh Jacobs.
Lockett's a sleeper with fantasy.
Oh yeah, I always have Lockett
for 200 with Russ.
I always have Lockett on my squad, but like I said, I'm going Damian Harris just because I have him on another fantasy team. Like he gets a great production. Like he's basically the number one running back there. Obviously, they got James White. That's more so for passing downs and everything. But he gets pretty good volume. I think he scored. No,
he's the number one back.
Yeah, he's basically the number one back. He gets good volume. He gets a bunch of touches. He can be utilized a little bit in the passing game, but like I said, that's mainly James White's role. But they'll give him the ball. And let me see. I forgot who they play this week. Let me look real quick.
Oh, they play the Saints.
That's what I say. I don't think they. And if their whole defensive line is basically out again, I'd start Damian Harris, James, if you're still watching, because they didn't have a good amount of their defensive line last week to injury, and I think a few to COVID. And you saw what the Panthers did to them.
Done.
Yeah, so you saw what the Panthers did with them. New England's pretty good offensive line, pretty good back in Damian Harris. I would go Damian Harris, but check in with Prez. Appreciate you for checking in with us and watching. He said, "Who needs to win more, Giants or Falcons?"
Yes. I think this is an easy question, bro. You don't even need to think about.
Who do you think needs to win more? I mean, obviously, I think the Falcons. Obviously, I mean, I think both teams need to win more. Obviously, the Falcons probably just because of the division they're in. Like it seems like there's at least 2 decent teams in Carolina and Tampa Bay. Giants. I mean, depending on what the Cowboys do this week, I mean, they may need to win too. Like they'll obviously they won't be back as many games because the Cowboys have already lost a game. But I personally think both teams, like obviously both teams can't win, but both teams really, really need to win because they both may be easily left in the dust. Whether it's in the division or it's in wild card standings. But I personally think, like I said, we're going to talk about in the pick'ems, but I think the Falcons got this one. Like I've seen the progress. As long as the offensive line is somewhat decent, like I'm not as scared of Dexter Lawrence and what's the guy from
Leonard Williams
outside line? Leonard Williams as well. But yeah, I'm about to say Leonard Williams. Lorenzo, yeah, Carter. Like they're really good. Obviously, they're really young guys. They're really good. But I feel like we faced 2 tougher defensive lines the first 2 weeks. So I think they'll at least be prepared. I won't say that they'll fully hold their own, but they'll be more prepared having to face Vita Vea and Sue, Fletcher Cox, and all those guys in Philadelphia. But both teams obviously need to win. Who you think? You're thinking Falcons too?
No, the Giants.
You think the Giants need to win more?
The Giants need to win more because the Falcons. I'm sorry to say it, bro. You're my partner on the show, all that, but your season's done. Like the team didn't get better.
The season's not done.
Okay, well, y'all are 0-2, and I know you can't win the division, and I'm only saying the Giants need to win more because there's more hope. Like this win, 1-2 is not bad.
They play in a worse division.
Yeah, all the teams are 1-1. The Cowboys play the Eagles, so one of those teams going to lose. The football team plays the Bills, so they could be with a dub on Sunday, which they will get. They'll be right back in the hunt. So I think the Giants need to win more, even though they should be 1-1. So
yeah, I would say they definitely should be 1-1. Yeah, obviously. I guess I'm saying I guess they don't need to win more because they have we're both saying the same thing for opposite reasons. Like you're saying they need to win more because it just gives them more hope. They're in a division where they could possibly win versus us, we're not. And I'm saying they don't need to win more for that same exact reason, because they're in the division to where they can sell a few games and possibly still be there at the end of it. Well,
And I just think
I
it's
guess depending on what they're. You said what?
No. I think it's over too because the NFC wild card is going to be crazy. So like the Giants have a chance because they can win their division. The Falcons, that wild card is not coming. They're not going to have a better record than the Cardinals or the 49ers or the Rams. Like it's just looking rough.
And it's three. Yeah, it's three teams. Three teams for yeah.
And they could all go from the same side. You just never know, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But yeah, we'll talk about the game in a little bit. But
of course,
that's what we got.
But James said you guys worried about Gibson.
I don't know how the Patriots' run D has been this year, but whatever their best thing is, whatever they do best, Belichick's going to take that away. And Gibson's been pretty good in the run game. They're a balanced team in my opinion, but let me take that back. I think they're going to take away McLaurin, so Gibson will have a big day. And worried, I said the Pats should be worried about him. I don't know if that's what he's asking. Or is he asking that? Are we worried about how he's going to perform in fantasy?
I'm guessing he's worried about how he perform. I mean,
I could see
I don't know if you're talking about overall too. I mean, last week McKissick did have a pretty big game, but it was mainly in the passing game, and I think they needed. I don't think they needed it. They did come back from what they came back from. I don't know how much they were down, but they came back. So I guess they needed more so of a pass catching back in the game, and that's McKissick's role. But I mean, I wouldn't be too worried about it if you're talking about fantasy wise. Like I said, he's still the lead back. He's still force feed him. And he can be a weapon in the pass game as well. And plus, I mean, I don't know how much trust they have in Heineke, but typically backup quarterbacks, they're not having them throw 40, 50 times a game. I mean, unless they have to.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I think. Thanks for the info, boys. Under follow, appreciate you for sure. Hopefully you do well in your fantasy this week. I have not been doing good in fantasy at all. I saw you got a win. I'm like, how the hell? Who'd you pick up a win against?
I played coach, and the only reason why I won, I had a feeling. I was like, Aaron Jones got to go off versus the Lions, and he had 4 TDs, so that he got me like 40 points off that game.
Bro, I'm pissed because Erson, like, I went to sleep like I'm up like 60, and then I'm not even mad at Lamar having a good game. I was more so mad at Marquise Brown, like going like off like 12 for like 120 or something and a touchdown. Like, what are y'all doing, bro? Keep that man off. Like, I know he's a big play guy, but it's like he had 12 catches. It's not like he had like 1-2 catches and it was like 60, 70 yards. Like, no, y'all let him like force feed him. Like, it was crazy. I don't even know why, but we got off topic a little bit. We're gonna probably keep this one short, but Jon Jones, he got arrested, just something or nothing. I mean, ex-UFC champion. I don't know. He's just always getting in trouble, whether it's narcotics, taking illegal substances. I think, okay. I'm about to say this is the timeline of him getting arrested because I know he got arrested 2-3 other times. So something or nothing.
You literally you help with my answer. I was gonna say nothing, and the reason why I was gonna say it's nothing because this is Jon Jones. He's always in trouble. It's always something. He's one of the greatest fighters, but it's just always something whether it's performance enhancing drugs, like you said, hit and run. Maybe he was drunk. Beating up people when you're not supposed to because your hands are illegal once you're a boxer. I mean, I don't know what it is for UCF. I'm pretty sure you can't fight in the streets, but when you're a boxer, your hands are illegal. So just doing a lot of dumb stuff, and it's just who he is. I'm not saying he's a dumb person, but he makes a lot of mistakes, and I'm just not surprised. This is not nothing too crazy. This is the norm in a way. Yeah. But yeah, it's nothing at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, because but I don't know. I mean, he don't still got a contract with UFC, do he? I about to say I always hear his name coming up with possibly fighting somebody, but I mean, if he doesn't have a contract with UFC anymore, he doesn't plan on fighting anymore, then yeah, that makes sense. Press say he's not losing the game in fantasy, and he might be right, to be honest.
I don't know about that. This fantasy, you can't predict.
Like 3-4 people like that can easily put up 25 to 30 points a week. That's true, bro. I mean, the first what is it, 2-3 weeks? However many weeks these first few weeks, he's been dominant. I don't know.
I didn't even look at
It's
his
been beyond
games.
me. I feel like I've had the worst luck in fantasy these first few weeks. Like it just makes no sense. I'm about to bench Josh Allen to be honest. But moving on, we're gonna hit on before we go into the games of the week, we'll hit on those real quick and then do our pick'ems to round out the show. But real quick, just power rankings. Love to always show these a little bit of love. Do you see any changes that you may or may not agree with this week?
Next time we got to pull up the like the previous graphic to help a little bit
Oh yeah,
because this
true.
is confusing. But I'm gonna just say a couple of things. A couple of not problems, but disagreements. The Jaguars should be last. The Chargers should be in front of the football team. They have the same record, and when they played head to head, the Chargers beat them. The Cowboys at 9, I just still don't think they're like a game for all the marbles. I'm taking the Packers over the Cowboys, and I'm going to keep it short. The Eagles, I mean, they surprised me. They blew y'all out, and that's not saying much. They played the 49ers a little tough, but they're not a better team than the Patriots. So it's just some controversial rankings, but I like what Jeff did moving the Chiefs down because they did not look that good defensively, especially besides those 2 Honey Badger plays. They got dominated in the trenches. And I'm okay with it. 9-5 after this week, we'll know more because they played the Eagles and the Lions, so you don't know, but we'll know once they play the Packers this week. And I like the Cardinals so far at 7. They've I know, they should have lost, but good teams find a way to win, and I think they've been playing quality ball so far this season.
What about I don't know. I mean, what about the Bills being from the Chiefs? But I guess they did have a blowout. But I mean, they played.
Oh my God!
The Dolphins without Tua. Yeah. It could have been a different game with him.
You're right. You're right. I don't know how I missed that. No, they lost to the Steelers week 1, who didn't look good. Have no, I wouldn't say offensive identity, but their offense is bottom of the pack. And then they go beat a Dolphins team that loses their quarterback in their second or third drive of the game. So no, they haven't done enough to be third in my opinion. And Josh Allen hasn't looked how he looked last year completely. I mean, it's only 2 weeks. You can start off the season slow, but he hasn't looked, what everybody's hyping him up to be the MVP. And this is why I had him top 5, but I didn't have him in front of, A-Rod, Russ, Deshaun, and Pat Mahomes for those reasons.
Yeah. My Falcons might have to be right there with them at last. Jaguars. We can share the spot. It could be 30 Jaguars / Falcons for sure. I mean, I can pretty much you hit on all the ones that I think I was gonna hit on. There's not too much difference. The Saints are in the who knows. So I was about to say that makes sense.
No, after one bad game,
I think I mean, but no, I can't really. Like I said, they had a bunch of injuries. They had a bunch of guys out. And they still don't have M13. So it's very possible I mean, they're in the who knows for now for sure because we don't know because we don't see any of their players playing. The Bears, I feel like they'll get moved up to the who knows, especially now that Justin Fields is going to start. But that actually segues us into the next thing that we're going to talk about. I don't know why I got a picture of Houston, Texas player. I think I just I put it up there too quick. But the Browns play Chicago, and this will be the first week that Justin Fields is starting. Just your thoughts on one, what you think will happen in the game, and who do you think will? Well, I mean, we'll say if we think we'll win because we obviously got a segment for that. But what do you think? What do you think about this game and just the matchup in general?
When we were doing previews and stuff, talking about quarterbacks, and I think it was Mo's preview when he asked when Justin Fields should start. And I said week 4 against the Lions, which is a week from now. And we're talking about all the scenarios. And I think this is the worst possible scenario besides week 1.
Damn.
The Browns on paper are a top 5 defense. They haven't played like it, but, any given Sunday they could turn it on, and that could be this Sunday. I think it's just a bad matchup. Going against the Browns, a good team. It's going to be a long day for him. He struggled against the Bengals, so the Browns and the Bengals, those are 2 different defenses.
Mm-hmm.
They got a pass rush. It's going to be a rough day. I'm hoping for the best. Hopefully Matt Nagy can scheme something up, keep everything simple. A lot of play action, keep him on the move, stuff that fits his game.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think it's gonna go too well. I don't want to call out an atrocious performance because I'm pulling for him, but I don't see him having the best first start. And I've said some things based on preseason off air too. I don't think he's lived up to expectations. I don't think he's played that well, even though it was preseason. Him going against 2s and 3s and still not playing that well. It says a little something, even though it's preseason. But I have my own thoughts that I'll talk about later on in the season. But I think this is just going to be a rough week. First start. It's growing pains.
Yeah.
He's a rookie quarterback. The Browns are top 17 in my opinion. So, it is what it is. Hopefully he comes out and shocks us. But I see the Browns win. I would say like a 31-13. This is going to be an ugly day.
Damn, 31-13.
Yeah.
Ugly day. Damn. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I can see it. I think he'll be a little prepared. I think it'll actually be a really good game. I'm not saying he's on Tyrod's level because Tyrod obviously has a bunch of NFL experience and he's been around the block and he's he can do it with his legs and do it with his arms. But I think he kind of showed like if Tyrod played last week, I honestly think the Texans had a real good chance to win the game. Not saying Justin Fields is Tyrod Taylor and vice versa, but obviously he has similar tools to him. Depending on Matt Nagy, honestly, in the play calling, to be honest, I think that may have and how much they trust him, like with the playbook. Like I said, if they have a shortened playbook or a shortened amount of or listed plays, whatever the case may be that they have him running, that could affect the game. Or if they open it up, like we have yet to kind of see. Like obviously we've seen them thrown in and they run certain stuff. Or certain packages for him when it was him and Andy Dalton, but now like do they open the playbook up against like you said, a top 5 type defense on paper, or do they kind of dance a little bit, kind of have him be kind of more so of a game manager this weekend, try to win it with smart plays? Who knows? But I'm excited to see him play in general, like I said, just to see how the offense may possibly open up if they do go with just pretty much throw the whole sinking kitchen at the Browns, defense. But I don't know. I don't really know who I'm gonna go with in the pick'ems yet, and that's concerning because we're about to do it in a second. But I don't know who I'm gonna go with. But probably the best game that's gonna be on tap this upcoming weekend: Bucs versus Rams, Super Bowl rematch from 2 years ago. And a lot of people have picked these two teams, honestly, or these two teams to meet in the NFC Championship in order to go to Super Bowl. So, what do you think about this game?
Like you said, the best game of the day. Kind of Brady, not a revenge game. I don't know if he, Brady takes mental notes of everything, but this was one of his worst games of the season last year when they played on Monday night. Barely over 50% completion percentage, a couple turnovers, not his best game. And the Rams knew how to, rattle him. They made him look a little older. So it's just I'm interested to see this go around, what's going to happen. AB being out, it kind of levels the playing field because they have so many weapons and the Rams are going to have to cover all of them. It was going to be tough, but with AB being out, it helps it out a little more. And I just think the key is, can Matthew Stafford show up? He wanted to go to the Rams for this reason, to play in big games. This is a big game to start the season, week 3, national spotlight, 425 game. Yeah. And will he show up? Really, that's what it is. Both defenses are good when they want to be. The Bucs haven't been as good as we thought they would, returning everybody, but they can still turn it on. They're formidable. They made some plays when they needed to last week against you guys to close the game out. So it's just about who can take care of the ball. Brady does that, but that in the game like this, that one big turnover changes the game. These are two well-coached teams. It's not gonna be too many turnovers. It might be that one turnover, and that's gonna be what changes the game. I want to see what Jalen Ramsey does. I think, he does better versus the bigger body receivers. He's not the best versus the shifty guys, but the Mike Evans or the Julios, the bigger body guys, I think he fares well. So I think he'll be good. It's all about who's gonna stop Gronk, OJ Howard, and Chris Godwin, and even, with AB being out, Scotty Miller or Tyler Johnson might emerge. So it's just all about who can take care of the ball and who can make the least amount of mental mistakes, because these are two top tier teams playing, I believe, and it's going to be some good football, but it just comes down to who makes that one big mistake. And hopefully,
Yeah.
in years past, that would have been Jared Goff, but they got Matthew Stafford
Mm-hmm.
to upgraded the quarterback position. And so far, it's looked good. 2 quality wins. Well, Chicago's okay, but the win against the Colts was good. But
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm going to give my prediction who I think is going to win later, but I will definitely be tuned in and ready to see if this matchup lives up to the hype, which I think it will, with a lot of stars, a lot of talent on the field.
Yeah, I'm about to say star and talent everywhere. I think it definitely is going to live up to the hype for sure. Think it say maybe one in the trenches, like I said, if they're facing Aaron Donald and some guys on the front seven. Same thing for the Bucs too. Like Matthew Stafford has to face the same Devin White, Shaq Barrett, Sue, all those guys. Like it's talent all across the front seven for both squads. Whoever's offensive line holds up, and whoever's quarterback's able to make the smartest decisions and the least amount of turnovers, like you said, is going to more likely win the game. I think I'm gonna give the edge to the Rams. I honestly think they're gonna win this game. It's probably 30-27 type shootout, 30-28, something like that. Just because I guess it really just depends for me with the Bucs, their secondary. I think that's the difference for me. Like the Bucs and Rams secondary. I think I hold, I guess, Rams secondary a little bit more in the higher favors than the Bucs, especially with a bunch of guys being out, I think still, or if they're not out, they're playing hobbled and hurt. Carlton Davis, I know he played last week, got hurt a little bit. Winfield Jr., I think he played, but he's a little hurt. Like they're starting corner, I forgot his name, but he's banged up as well.
Yeah, Marky Bunting's not coming back.
Bunting, Bunting is not coming back. So it's like that's the edge kind of why I'm giving over the Rams, because like I said, they're both very good front sevens, both very good quarterbacks, got great receivers, playmakers everywhere. So I think that's going to be the difference for me. And this one I actually do know I'm going to pick. Like I said, I just said 30 to 20, 27, 28 range, but I'm definitely going with the Rams for this one. And then last one, NFC Championship rematch from a few years ago as well. Green Bay versus San Francisco. We know what Green Bay looked better, a little bit better. I won't say fully better. Their defense still has a lot of work, in my opinion. Monday night against the Lions, but Green Bay with a win under the belt looked a little bit better. Aaron Rodgers' offense looked a little bit better. San Francisco looked pretty well these first two games. I know the second game against the Eagles, they didn't really have a bunch of scoring offensively like they did week one, but defense is back healthy. They look pretty strong. Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo seem like or Shanahan seems like he's found a good little balance with the two quarterback thing. So what do you think about this matchup?
It's a tough one. I'm not gonna give my pick again, but good matchup. A good Sunday night matchup, and not a revenge game, but they know what happened last time they lined up. They got completely dominated. I don't know how much they ran for, but I know they ran them off the field to where I think Jimmy G threw less than 10 passes in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And, we talk about how people can't run your way to a Super Bowl. They literally ran their way to a Super Bowl. So, but I don't know, man. This is tough. Like the Niners, are they for real? They haven't played anybody yet.
Yeah.
And the Packers started off slow and they bounced back, but they bounced back against who people thought was going to be the worst team in the league or one of the worst teams in the league. So, it's tough. It'll be a grinded out matchup. And I think the biggest thing, like in previous matchup, is who can win the battle of the trenches. Kyle Shanahan, I don't know if he's the best run game, like schemer of the run game, but he's up there. He's throwing guys in there and having them run wild. It doesn't matter who he throws in there, undrafted. He sign you off.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons practice squad, you're going to run for 100 yards if you get over 15 carries. So whoever can dominate the trenches and, the turnovers, will this be his, this is the first time they're playing a real quality opponent. Will he have one of those bad games? Will he not? You never know. But it's just a lot. Like early in the season, you just don't know who these teams really are. Yeah. And I say about week 4, week 5, like we were talking about a while back, we'll know more about these teams. But it's about the battle of the trenches and who can make the less mistakes. Will they be able to stop Devontae Adams? Because when they played last year on Thursday night, Devontae Adams went off.
Yeah.
So can the 49ers, they stay banged up in the running in the backfield and in the back end. So can their secondary hold up against A-Rod, who, had a little stuff to say about his critics, who people, I guess he was saying they shouldn't have a platform to talk or whatever. They said people saying dumb stuff. But he's hearing all the noise. Hopefully he's ready to shut the doubters out. And he always wanted to play for the Niners, so this game is low-key personal. But I'm not gonna give my prediction, but it's a lot for this game that I don't know yet until later on in the season. But this comes down to what football always comes to: who can make the least amount of turnovers, who can put the most points on the board, and make the least amount of mental mistakes. So, what do you got for this game?
I guess honestly we can hop right into the picks because, like I say, it's the next thing on our tabs. But I personally, I don't know. Good defense, a pretty good offense. Even though they've struggled out the gate. Very bad defense in my opinion, or at least they have players that's capable of being a good defense. They're just real wishy-washy. They're up and down. They're a defense that can easily be scored on. But like I said, offensively, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner. And he doesn't commit very many turnovers. And Trey Lance, like I said, he's played well in the time that he's gotten to. So it's going to be a good game. Like I said, I'm definitely excited for the three that we covered. I personally think I'm going to go a certain way. And I'm going to go Green Bay. I don't know if it's the right decision. It really could be a toss-up. But I'm going to go with Green Bay on that one. And like I said, we'll make it official in a second. But this is what our pick'ems look like for this past week. You're closing the gap a little bit. Had a little bit better of a week. You flip-flopped, went from 5 to 11 to 11-5. I was 12-4. I think the only difference, we had pretty much picked everybody the same besides Cowboys. I think I went with the Cowboys. You went the Chargers. That was the only difference. So right now we're sitting at 20-12, 16-16. Still got to figure out a punishment for us, but said not too far off. Only 4 games behind. This upcoming week seems like you're real undecided. I'm real undecided. It seems like it could definitely be a week that can be a very big deciding factor for how the rest of the year is going to go. But I'm a pretty, Thursday night game already been played. I'm pretty sure we both was going with Carolina, given that Tyrod Taylor was out. Davis Mills, even though he played okay, I don't think either one was going with Texas. And I know we talked about it as well. So both of us already got a win with Carolina. But I'll let you go first. What's your pick'ems for the week?
Excuse me too, because I got to look off my list because like the ESPN list is usually different. But
yeah,
I have the Bills winning at home. I have Cleveland. We already talked about that. I have Cleveland winning. Yeah. Justin Fields going to have a long day. Baltimore is going to win at Detroit. Kyler Murray's going to have a field day, and they're going to thrax the Jaguars. Kansas City and LA is going to be a toss-up. That's a good, better game than people think. But I'm going with KC at home.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Pats at home again. I want Jameis to have this is my last time doing this, bro. Seriously. I want Jameis to have a bounce back game, and I think he's going to get a good road win in Foxborough, but I'm going with the Pats. I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust Jameis versus Belichick right now. Nah, I'm not digging that. I'm sorry to do it to you, my boy, but I got the Giants beating the Falcons, causing them to go 0-3, calling for Arthur Smith's job after 3 weeks.
We're playing New York. Oh, shit. I'm gonna see how much some tickets is. They're probably ridiculous. Never mind.
You might have to do a show with Bars or somebody before a game, maybe. But
I know, right?
Not to get distracted. This is where we might differ. I have the Bengals beating the Steelers in Pittsburgh this week. I have the Titans beating the Colts, even though I do think the Colts get their first win this week. That's my second time doing that. But I promise you, bro, I said it earlier in the show, but I promise you next week, everything's straight from the gut. But that Bengals pick was from the gut. So we're going to see. I got Denver. They're going to keep rolling. The defense is rolling, even though Bradley Chubb got hurt. I like the Raiders winning big. Jacoby Brissett, he's a backup. He's quality, but he's not good enough to go in there and win a game. And the Raiders have been playing good, getting pass rush. The best game of the day we talked about, I have the Rams winning that. That crowd in SoFi is going to be rocking. Their second home game, but biggest game of the season so far. It's going to be rocking. That defense is going to be ready to go and to get after the old man. And we might differ on this one too. I have Minnesota getting their first win of the season. They've played well. They're 0-2, but they've been in every game. They were supposed to win all the games. Like the OT game versus Cincy's supposed to win, and then they miss literally an extra point. So, I had them finally rebound and finish and closing the game like they should and getting the dub. And then Sunday night, I have the 49ers. Packers got him last year. I think 49ers will get him this year. This is another one of those. I would not be surprised if the Packers whoop up on them, but I think they're going to run all over them. Hopefully, they can get 1 or 2 running backs healthy. And my last pick of the day, I'm going with the Cowboys. The Eagles, I think that week 1 performance was a little boosted because they were playing your boys. And, y'all didn't really add too many pieces to one of the worst defenses statistically in history last year versus the past. So I just don't think that, and then they only put up 11 points the week later. So I don't think, that's going to fare. The Dallas defense is new and improved. I don't know how Michael Parsons is going to do on the D-line going against Lane Johnson, but we'll see. But, at the end of the day, I got Dallas. So hopefully we're a little different this week, and hopefully I can gain some ground and these teams stop playing. But if I miss, listen, y'all hear me, whoever's tuned in, if the Saints win and the Colts win, I'm trusting my gut from now on. I'm not gonna pick Bill or anybody else. I'm gonna pick who I think is gonna win based off what I know and what I think about the game. So yeah, second guessing after this week. But who you got?
I'm no second guessing over here. I'm going Bills, Cleveland, Baltimore, Arizona for sure.
Why you think about Arizona?
Arizona for sure. I had to go that way. I mean, yeah, that's just a given. Kansas City, pissed off Kansas City. They're definitely taking that one at home. Oh, I was gonna go with the home team on this one. I just realized New Orleans isn't home. Pat's got to go with them.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Because that one, to me, that one's a toss-up. Like I said, I think Saints just had a bad week last week. I think they get some guys back this week and they'll be better for sure. But I think, so New England's at home. I just go with them. Atlanta got to go up with the home squad, man. We're definitely getting the first win this week. I feel good about this one. No doubt about it. We're playing Danny Dimes. Like, what the hell? We're going to get a win.
He's going to look like Danny Dimes.
Nah. Pittsburgh, got to go with them at home, coming off a pretty bad, second home game in a row, coming off a pretty bad, not pretty bad loss to the Raiders. I mean, Raiders look legit, but, one to where it was kind of right there in their hands. I think the Raiders they stayed in it, kept fighting back, and eventually just took the lead and just.
It was kind of more the opposite. It was kind of more the opposite. Pittsburgh was.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm over here. I'm flip flopped. I remember. Yeah, it definitely was the opposite. Because the Raiders, it was like stagnant. Then the Raiders started coming out, and they was playing for real. And then the Steelers had to kind of climb back. But Big Ben's arm just wasn't allowing any of that, and defense just couldn't hold up. Raiders. Derek Carr looked pretty good. Maybe Gruden likes him a little bit more now.
Hopefully.
Got to go with the Rams on this one. Seattle as well. Even though they gave up a game last week, I still like them. Overall, like I know they're gonna make the playoffs. I know everyone keeps saying they're gonna be the one out of the NFC West that doesn't, but I think they will. Seattle for sure, and then going with Green Bay. So I think we got about 4 or 5 different. I want to say.
Yeah, we got. Well, who do you have for? Different. You didn't do Monday night.
My fault for the Monday night. Yeah. Oh, I gotta go. I don't want to. But I gotta go with Dallas.
You missed. I don't know if I missed it or you didn't say them. Did you? I know you're going with Denver and the Jets, but who'd you say for Tennessee and Indy?
Oh damn! I did skip. I skipped over 2. You're right. Yeah, I'm going with Tennessee, and I'm going with Denver as well. Tennessee and Denver. They're the home squad. Indy. I think they said something about Carson Wentz. I don't think he's gonna play though. Regardless, even if he was playing, I don't think I'd pick him. Jets, I don't think I'm ever picking them. Not this year.
So we're different on.
I mean, if we're 0 for after this week, I'll pick the Jets against my Falcons next week.
Yo, that's wild. If you're stooping that low, we play the Jets. I'm picking the Jags every week. I'm not going to disrespect my team like that. But we got what? How many different games we got? The 49ers is different.
Green Bay, Seattle. 49ers. Yeah, the Green Bay, Seattle. I picked that one's different, and then
the Giants and the.
I went with the Raiders. You went with the Raiders too, so never mind.
It's the Giants game.
The
Giants
pick is different.
And it's one more. Who did? Oh yeah, Bengals and Steelers.
Steelers. Yeah. So that's 4. So you guys. So if I'm wrong on those 4 and you're right on those 4, we're tied.
We tied up. But if not, I'm down bad. But I still got some time.
Prez, yeah, definitely. We can do that. I'm actually going to be in New York. Me and my girl are going up to New York, so I'm going to be up there. I'm be, was that Sunday? I'm gonna be in near Times Square at that point. But I was about to say I'm gonna be near Queens. But we definitely figure out a show. I might have to hop on my phone and do it. Or
You gonna
maybe
wear
we can
your
do it in person
jersey
so
in New
you can do
York?
it.
You gonna walk the streets of New York with your jersey proud, right?
The only jersey I got is a Julio jersey, so I can't even do it. I might bring a hoodie though.
Yeah, you
I'm
gotta
gonna bring a
rep
hoodie
your team though.
or a
You gotta
shirt.
let them know.
Nah, I don't know. I don't even be wearing it for real. I only wear it when I be in the bed. But I definitely, I might have to bring it just cause.
I understand, bro.
But real
It's
quick, I
okay
guess to end the show off. It's yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a mixture of shirts up there anyway. I'm gonna be in a touristy spot, so it's whatever. But just to end the show off, I don't know if he's watching or not still because he commented this a minute ago. But should I trade CH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Fournette, and Higbee for Saquon and Fant? I mean, personally, I don't know. This is a weird trade. Just because I got three of these players. Yeah, two of these players. And I've had another two of these players before. I don't know. I personally wouldn't. I mean, the upside, CH, even though he hasn't had that great of a start, I mean, he's still, I guess, still the premier back there. Fournette gets more touches than Ronald Jones, even though it's about split. Higbee, still number one tight end. I don't know. Saquon just plays behind a bad offensive line. They haven't really been giving him the ball because they bring him back slowly. And, he just hasn't been doing much for them. I don't know if that changes this week because he plays against our defensive line. But I don't know. And then Fant, he's been okay, but I think they're trusting Teddy a little bit more in the passing game. So I don't think he has to check it under as much to his two tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
He fell in love with Sutton and Tim Patrick last week. So I personally don't think those two guys are high target guys that's going to bring you in a bunch of points. So I would stay with what you got, to be honest. I don't know what you think, Dad.
I'm not the biggest fantasy guy. I've been playing it for the last couple of years, but I mean, it's just basically off for production. So I would do it because Fournette is inconsistent. He's not a number one back anymore. Like, he's sharing carries on a team with a lot of weapons, so he's not going to get the ball that much. He's not going to be a lot of consistent 100-yard games like he did in Jacksonville. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's small back. Like, they don't rely on him that much in the goal line because he's small, so I wouldn't, not going to produce a lot of TDs. Might get you some yards, but not TDs. And Higbee, he's good. They feature him a lot in the Rams offense, and I like the way they do. But, Saquon and Fant, like, that's a 200-yard rushing day or 150-yard receiving day waiting to happen. Like, those are two big play guys. So I would do it because I have Noah Fant in our league, and I picked him up because I believe in his potential. But
I had Noah Fant last year. He's straight. The only reason I think is because I have a hate relationship with Saquon because I've had him for like the past 2-3 years. I had him for the past 2 years for sure. I know. I think this year makes the third year because he was hurt the other 2 years, I believe.
Yeah.
And 1 year I picked him. And last year I knew not to pick him, but I still did it anyway because I was listening to fantasy experts and see how that ended up. And then this year I got him because I got into the draft like 1 minute late and I already had like 3 people picked and it was him and Jonathan Taylor. I'm like, that don't even make sense, bro. I would never have picked Saquon ever, but it is what it is. I personally just keep it's gonna be, I don't know. I personally would just keep the guys that you got. Just possibly it may not be high production, but it's gonna be consistent. Where it's like Saquon could be, you're gonna be disappointed if you train for Saquon expecting to have 20 points in and out each and every week, and you're not getting that. Like, he's giving me 6 and 8 so far, barely that. So I don't know, but that does it for us. I don't know if we want to. You can throw out 2 fancy guys that you feel like is gonna produce this upcoming week, and that's how we can head out today.
For me, I'm gonna
fantasy boomer bust guys.
It's kind of hard for me. I have one, but the second one. Okay, I got 2. They're both quarterbacks. I hate to, for it to be both quarterbacks, but Kyler Murray is going to go bonkers versus the Jaguars. We're not going to touch him. He's going to be able to run around. We couldn't cover D-Hop when he was in Houston, so we're not going to be able to cover him now. It's going to get ugly. I could see him putting up 5 TDs. And then Lamar Jackson versus that Lions defense, I think. He's going to have a field day. It's going to be one of those, in high school, like when we play Meadow Creek, it'd be like a stat game. That's what we call it, a stat game for Lamar. So,
yeah. It definitely gonna be a stat game. I was gonna pick Lamar as well. My other one is going. I didn't start him last week because I didn't know how he would fare with him coming off an injury, Teddy Bridgewater being the quarterback. But Jerry Jeudy went out. I'm picking Cortland Sutton against the Jets defense that sucks. It could be Teddy Bridgewater too. Really could be that whole offense. Hopefully Melvin Gordon has a big day because I have him on my fantasy team. But I'm gonna pick Cortland Sutton just because he had a big week last week. Probably gonna look to build on that this week against a very, very bad defense. And Teddy Bridgewater looks like he likes him a lot and looks for him in the passing game. So it could be your guy Noah Fant. It really could be anybody. Like this is the week to just kind of wait and see. Like anybody could pop off for the Broncos this upcoming week. And then, I mean, outside of that, that might be it. Oh, what you? Nah, I was about to say Derrick Henry might. I mean, not 250 yards, but he might have a solid. Yeah, the Colts have a good defense. That's the thing. But depending, like I said, I feel like their offense is going to get them in bad situations if Carson Wentz isn't playing. Like, they could be in short fields to where Derrick Henry gets 2-3 touchdowns, or even if not, I think eventually the defense is going to wear down because the offense isn't being able to sustain drives. So not 240 yards, but I think he'll have like a buck 50. Nah, he'll have a buck like 30 with like two touchdown or two. That's still high, but I think he will. I think he's just building off of last week, and he's going to be in mid-season form. But that does it for us, man. Pretty good show, pretty long show, but definitely hit on everything that we need to hit on. Definitely make sure to check us out. Like I said, appreciate everybody for tuning in, following us, those that did, and ask us fantasy questions. Make sure y'all follow us if not already on Instagram and Facebook. What the game means to me on both of those. Shout out to Off the Ball Network. Shout out to Prez. I'll be in your city soon. Celebrating the Falcons win. Dad, any closing thoughts before we head out?
Nah, just looking forward to tomorrow and Sunday. Good show. We'll be back at you guys weekly, sometime, hopefully earlier in the week this week. But shout out to Off the Ball Network once again. And catch us on See You Sunday tomorrow at 11 Eastern, where you'll catch, some of our guys talking ball and Overreaction Monday. So, two good shows from the network coming in the coming days. And then we got a show coming for you guys next week. So stay tuned.
For sure. Like I said, I might try to hop on. I'll see you Sunday. I'll be up. I got a 6 a.m. flight, but who knows if I'll be able to hop on my phone or not. But definitely, like that I said, check out those two shows. Check out everybody on Off the Ball Network. Support our two sponsors as well. Forgot to shout them out, Ice Shakers and My Bookie as well. Definitely appreciate y'all and all the work that y'all helped us out with. But that does it for us today. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Have a good one.